Hey everybody, welcome to the Morning Scroll. This is a new segment, a new thing I'm going to try to put together. We'll see how frequently I do it. Maybe I'll do it every day. That seems a little ambitious. Maybe it won't be every day. But the point is here, I want to get together informally in the mornings, maybe have some coffee and take a look at X and what's happening on X and just kind of talk about the latest in business, in technology, and in culture where that comes up and is relevant. So if you're into that kind of thing, go ahead and follow me here on whichever platform you're seeing this, and come along for the ride. Okay, so speaking of rides, first up we've got Elon and his rocket launch heavy booster landing in like on the tower, which was pretty incredible. I find this to be extremely important in the day and time that we're in. This is giving hope. This is showing young people what's possible, that through hard work and dedication, and some pretty cool stuff going on with with science and technology, you can do some really amazing things. Elon just continues to do amazing things pretty much every day across a whole constellation of companies and businesses. How he is doing that, both in terms of the engineering side of things as well as the business side of things, is just mind blowing. So kudos to the SpaceX team for catching catching a booster falling from the sky at incredible speeds, because that's amazing. The most dangerous feeling for founders is complacency. This is coming from Nathan Covey. Nathan is the, I guess, grandson of Stephen Covey, who was this like famous leadership guru guy. So pretty cool to see Nathan here on X. And he's talking to founders and business owners. And of course, if you are complacent, you're going nowhere, right? If you're not getting up today feeling like you're behind and you've got things to do and you need to catch up, then you're probably never going to catch up and you're never going to get where you're going. So you'll notice as I go through this, a lot of the people that I follow tend to be folks in the founder community, in the business community, in tech, developers, a lot of engineers, a lot of folks in SaaS. And so that's what we're going to see a lot of here. I try to stay away from politics, got a bunch of filters set up to try to get rid of political posts. So I don't see those all the time, but they do they do make their way through. And so we'll probably have to talk about those too. In fact, here is one right here, just talking about, this was, I'll probably stay away from this one. But yeah, the idea here is that one of the parties is, kind of leaning into focusing on race and sort of differentiated treatment for one race versus another, which in America doesn't seem right, doesn't seem like what we should be doing. My opinion, I believe in merit. I believe that if you work hard and you are the best at what you do, those are the people that we want in charge of our industries. I want the guy who can, like catch a rocket falling from the sky. That's the guy I want working on rockets, for example. And so I don't really care what your skin color is. I don't care about any of that. I just care if your brain inside the box there is top notch in your field and ready to go. And so hopefully that refocus happens here in the United States, because man, all you gotta do is look at the news and you will see the impacts of not putting the best people in charge of things and what can happen if you do that. All right, moved one app off of Vercel into DigitalOcean. Okay, so Vercel, which is it? So this platform, they are the developers responsible for Next.js, which is the platform. If you're doing React stack type development, then Next.js. They also have some really cool tools around AI to do generation of code, particularly for the front end. They also do hosting, but they can be very expensive. Really cool products, really integrated well, seamless, but also expensive. So folks are always looking for other options and places that they can go host their products that they're building without having to spend quite so much money. David Nix, he is celebrating 10 years of marriage. Congratulations. Marriage is not easy, but it is awesome. Highly recommend it. But celebrate everything that you can, because every day is important. All right, Marty Markinson, business is so hard. Don't feel bad for struggling. That's right. Business is very hard. What I have found is getting people to separate from their money is very, very challenging. People work hard to get their money, and then they don't really want to share it in most cases. And so you have to have something really compelling to get somebody to separate with their money. And that is always easier said than done. That's why I like to focus on B2B businesses in particular personally, because I think it's easier to get somebody to spend their business's money that's not their money than it is to get them to spend their own personal money, particularly for big ticket items. So again, if business is hard, so founders, if you're struggling, totally get it. X, LinkedIn, these are great platforms to come to share your struggles, share what you're going through, get some community feedback, and then hopefully get where you need to be and continue on. Okay, Alex Cohen, why would you work hard your entire life and make millions of dollars only to take it to the grave and not support your children until you pass down? So there was a thing that went around yesterday about boomer parents, and the fact that they're like hoarding all of their resources. They're not sharing their money with their kids who are struggling. And we're not talking about kids that are in their like 20s and they want to like go tour the world here. We're talking about kids being responsible, having families, working hard, trying their best in this economic situation to get ahead. And their parents are just sitting on buckets and buckets of money, and they're not really willing to share it. And they always say, well, it's going to come to you when I die. I will pass it on to you. Well, there's an opportunity, I think, for parents to be passing on money to their older children as their children need that money, or as their, children's the wrong word, these are 30-year-olds, but as their family needs the resources, why not leverage it and use it? You get to see the impacts of what you're doing. And the kids are going to need that money more in their 30s and 40s, as they're in the meat of raising their family, than they are when they're in their 50s and 60s, when that parent may ultimately pass on. And at that point, the kids are up, they're out of the house, your cost of living is way down, and so you're kind of in a different point in life. And so I would love to see parents take a much more thoughtful and intentional role to how they manage their wealth as they age, and how they manage getting that wealth into their kids' hands. And personally, my own opinion is that they're scared. And the reason that they're not passing the money on is because they think that they may need it before they die, and they don't want to be in a situation where they just simply don't have it because the kids took it and they spent it. So that's my own personal opinion on this one. Would love to hear your opinions. If you've got any about that, please leave them in the comments below. Would love to get into a dialogue, because I think that's a big one. All right, let's catch a couple more before we break for the day. My goal is to keep these pretty short. We're just going to kind of hit a few posts, talk about them, and then move on with our day. All right, let's see. Here's my take on the future of SaaS. Billion-dollar SaaS is on its way out. This is Tebow. Thanks to AI, even with basic coding skills, you can now create and publish an MVP in hours. So who are they going to be the real winners? Indie hackers and content creators, because of distribution. Okay, so I agree very much with Tebow here. I do believe that billion-dollar SaaS is on the way out. SaaS has got to deal with little SaaS. So these are folks that are operators that become vendors, become software providers, become experts to the community, content creators for their particular niche. They know the customer better than billion-dollar SaaS CEO does. They've got a better connection with that customer. That customer's coming to them every day to get advice and perspective about running their business. And so who better to buy software from than from the person that you're already going to, that knows the pain that you're experiencing every single day. And so, yes, billion-dollar SaaS is going to get hurt by that. And then on the other side, you've got large enterprise, and they're realizing that they can use AI internally to create CRM systems, to create HR systems, to create accounting systems that are very tailored to their business, their operations, their people, the way they view the world, their customer base. And so again, billion-dollar SaaS is having to see their market erode, not only on the low end, but also on the high end, as IT teams embrace these tools and build out capabilities inside the company that are more appropriate, tailored, and are gonna be better for that business than licensing something from a billion-dollar SaaS company. So I agree on that front, and then I also agree that the future belongs to the creators and the influencers, the indie hackers on social media, folks that are out talking about what they're doing. Again, those operators that become software vendors because of low code or no code through AI, and what you can do with these tools. We're going to see a lot of influencers start to sell their own software. So B2B influencers selling software to customers, and that is distribution, and that is kind of the big thing. That is kind of the next big thing, because again, building the software itself is going to become cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Now, I believe we're going to get a lot of crappy software as a result of that, because there's a lot of people that don't really know what software should be, how it should work, what makes good software, what makes bad software. So just like with social media, we get a lot of bad content, just like with, everyone can make a song on their laptop. And so we have a lot of, really not so good music that comes out, but we also have a lot of little gems that come out that we never would have seen if it wasn't for the fact that these tools are so accessible. So it's a really exciting time to be in technology and to be into software, to see how AI is transforming how things get built, how quickly they get built, how effectively they get built, and what that's going to do to the whole market is pretty incredible. So all right, so I hope that this was fun for you. Kept it to about 10 minutes. The idea is just jump into X, take a look at what people are talking about in the realms of technology, business, culture, and then just have a little dialogue. I'll give you my thoughts on things. Would love to hear your thoughts on things as well. If you could leave some comments, then we can get into the conversation. And otherwise, we'll catch you next time. Appreciate you. See ya.